This is going to be retailing for $49 here in New Zealand. So I am a big fan of Clinique's foundations. I really like the fact that they have such a huge range of foundations. They have up to like, I think 11 or 12 different foundation ranges to choose from. First appearance, it is a cute little stick. I don't know how else to describe it. So obviously it's going to be very portable. I really like it actually. I think it's really cute. Very similar to a lot of the other Chubby stick collections that they have in the brand, if you know what I mean. Like they've got their Chubby stick highlighter and contouring stick. They've got their blushes. Just to give you guys a bit of a briefing over it, I accidentally chucked out the box, so I'm just going to the website to get the information about it. So it says portable perfection for full face coverage or bare minimum touch-ups. Creamy moisturizing foundation stick blends easily. Builds from sheer to moderate coverage with a natural finish. Long wearing and it's oil free. And I have to say there's also no SPF in it as well. Then it just gives you a how-to on how to use it. So it says draw several strokes of foundation across the forehead, cheeks, chin, and down the bridge of your nose. For sheer coverage, fingertip blend with a seamless finish. For a moderate coverage, use Clinique's buffing brush to buff foundation into skin using light circular motions. Okay, so Clinique have just recently launched this amazing, fluffy, dense buffing brush. I don't have it, but I do have my Zoeva Silk Finish brush, and I have a feeling it's quite similar. It's very dense, so I'm hoping that will work. I'm sure it will. So the colour that I've got here is 06 Intense Ivory. Okay, so it's retractable as well. It goes up and it goes down. I'm being so immature right now. Okay, so I'm yet to prep my skin. I just got out of the shower and blow dried my hair. So I'm going to just chuck on some of my Dramatically Different lotion to prep my skin. And then I'm going to be using my Pep Start eye cream. This is just new on the market. It brightens up the eye over time and just adds extra hydration. I think just with like my recent reviews that I've done with foundations, I'm going to prime one side of my face and leave the other unprimed just to see if that makes much of a difference. So I'm just going to keep everything within the Clinique family. I'm going to be using their Super Primer and I'm just going to apply it on this side of my face. I don't know if you guys watched my last review on the DB Brands foundation, but I broke my ring light. I didn't break it, it just fell over. It wasn't me who actually did it. So I'm still without any lighting at the moment, but I'm kind of liking this whole setup. Like I actually don't mind the natural light, and it's kind of like made me change up my background, which I like really like. So we're gonna do strokes all over the face, through the chin, go through the forehead. Colour seems to be quite nice so far. It glides on really nicely. Man, it is smooth to glide on. Like, you actually get quite a lot dispensing from the stick. So it seems to blend really nicely with my strokes. Like, it doesn't go streaky. And it moves really easily, like, glides so nicely. I feel like it's quite hydrating. And you have a little bit of time to really work with it. Just from what I can gather, it's going to be a semi-dewy finish rather than a matte. I would definitely say the first application is quite sheer. You can still see a lot of my skin peeking through underneath. But the colour's really nice. I do like the tone of that. And it's giving off a really nice radiant finish. I think I'm just going to do a few more strokes just to see if I can really build it up a bit heavier. And it will kind of test if it drags with the stick formula. So far, that first layer hasn't moved with the second application. You know what? I've tried a lot of Clinique foundations, and I have a feeling if any of you guys know or use or used Even Better by Clinique, I feel like this is going to be kind of similar just with the coverage and the texture and the finish of it. Just from what I'm picking up at the moment anyways. I really like that it's hands-free. Like, definitely is appealing to me because you literally just have to pop off the cap and roll it on your face. You don't have to put anything on the back of your hand because literally every day I go to work with a canvas on my hand. I have like all my foundation, and then I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow, and then I have a bit of eyeliner on there. Like, I just like there's one less thing on my hand when I go to work anyways. So So definitely got to quite a good medium coverage. I'm just going to zoom up for you guys to have a look at how it's all looking. So you can see it's given quite a good moderate coverage. You can still see a couple of things peeking through, but I feel like if I put another stroke on that, it's going to cover it. So it is a very buildable product. I would definitely say the first layer gave a really sheer to moderate finish, and then that second layer gave a really good moderate to semi-full coverage. But the texture is really beautiful. It actually really looks quite natural with my own skin. It's not cakey, it's not drying, it's very hydrating. There's no creping anywhere so far either, which is nice. It definitely doesn't intensify my pores whatsoever. If anything, with that dewiness, it kind of like reflects anything that's going on my skin. So it gives quite a nice, not airbrush finish, but just a really nice flattering finish to my skin. Okay, I think I'm just going to finish the other side of my face that isn't primed, and we'll just see how that goes as well. It must like warm up really nicely with the skin. It feels so creamy. I have a feeling just because it says it's oil free, I kind of feel like super oily skins aren't going to like this because it is a semi-dewy finish. I would definitely say it's going to be great for a very dry combination and maybe oily combination, but if you're super oily, I don't know if it's going to be like the first thing you're going to want to use over other foundations in the brand. Oh, I'm so loving this texture. Now that I've applied it all, I'm going to be using my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I'm just going to apply that under my eyes with a beauty blender. So far I seem to be like super duper happy with it. I just guess if there's anything that's really going to go wrong, it's the way it finishes by the end of the day and how shiny it might get through my powder, or if it starts to wear around my chin. That's where I usually wear a lot of my foundations if they don't last long. So that will be the major teller, I think. Okay, and the powder that I'm going to finish it off with is my Makeup Forever Pro Finish. This colour is 118. And okay, so finished applying my powder and concealer. So far it's looking really good. I have to admit I haven't got like a full matte finish from it. Even though I did lay down quite a bit of powder, it just has not kind of really absorbed it where it's completely matte. I guess if you want that really nice dewy finish and still set it into place with the powder, you're really going to get that with this foundation. I'll just do a flashback test just to make sure there's no flashback on it, and yeah, we'll just see what it looks like. Okay, so there was no major flashback, but I do feel like I'm going to have to set under here a lot more. It's still quite slippery looking, and just with that shine it kind of seems to bring up under here. But in saying that, it shouldn't really be the foundation that's doing it. It could be my concealer. So I'm just going to go finish my face, go get all like done up and stuff, and we'll just see how that looks once I've got everything else laid down. Okay, so an update, it is 2 PM in the afternoon. I forgot to mention that it was about 10:30 when I applied this, so we're about 3.5 hours in, and so far it is looking beautiful, absolutely stunning. I really like it so far. Just looking really soft and luminous. Definitely not oily looking or anything. Of course you can see I've applied some highlighter just through those areas. Yeah, no, I'm just loving it so far. It hasn't oxidized or anything. I'm just really impressed with the color. The color was bang on, which is great. Pores are looking really good. I have noticed though, when I've touched my chin, foundation has slightly transferred, even though I've powdered there, so I am curious as to why that's happening, but I guess it's because it is more of a dewier foundation, so it's just going to naturally do that, I think. It doesn't really like grip onto the skin like a matte one would. Underneath my eyes I put like some banana powder just to get rid of that shine, and that really set it into place. So that would be one tip I would say. If you find that your under eye area stays quite shiny, use some banana powder or some kind of setting powder underneath. That definitely helped out a lot. I think I'll check back with you guys just before or after dinner. We'll just see how I'm going with time. My sister's sick with tonsillitis, the poor thing, so I have to go take her to the doctor and run a few more errands. I'm just about to do a hair tutorial as well, so yeah, we'll just see how time goes by then, and I will see you guys in a couple of hours with another update. Hey guys, so it is 10 o'clock at night. I have been out for dinner, to the movies. I've done a whole lot of stuff. Actually, I might just zoom up a little bit here. So 12 hours practically in since applying the Chubby stick in Nude. And I would definitely have to say it's looking okay. Very shiny. Yeah, I would definitely say it's got quite shiny over time. It was like holding really well, but I guess now that it's, you know, hit 12 hours, it has really started to get quite shiny. The color has slightly oxidized. I can tell, like, I can really tell the difference between my neck and my shoulders now. I felt like I didn't notice that this afternoon. And what else? Oh shit. Like, the texture of it's actually really nice still on the skin, and it has slightly shifted when I was wearing sunglasses today. In saying that though, even though it's been shiny and I felt like it was transferring a lot earlier on during the day, it actually has not moved at all throughout my chin, and that's where it generally will move if my foundation was to move. The coverage has stayed really well though. I have to admit, it really has not rubbed or patched anywhere. It's caked a little bit on the nose. I feel like I have a tendency for foundations to cake on my nose anyways. But yeah, it's definitely got quite shiny through the T-zone. So maybe I'll apply some powder on top just to see what it looks like once I've got powder on top, if it can just be touched up. It hasn't creped or creased in those major areas where I usually do, or through the forehead. Usually through the forehead with dewier foundations, I have a tendency to get quite crepey. I really just want to see if touching it with a powder is going to help it. Actually, that's not too bad. That's definitely made an improvement. It seems to be absolutely fine to touch up with powder without looking too cakey. But yeah, like it is, I am very aware that it's on my skin at the moment. I guess after 12 hours you are going to feel that way. It's at the end of the night, so I am just like, oh, I just want to get rid of it all. But overall, I am quite happy with it. I felt like it definitely gave a really nice dewy finish and built up to a really good moderate to heavy coverage. Would recommend it only really for dry to dry combination, edging, oily combination skins, not oily. I just feel like it wouldn't be your cup of tea. And I feel like this would be great for someone who's just on the go, like literally swatch a couple of strokes on, just buff it in and you're good to go. Very ideal for people who just don't have much time. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Again, I'm really sorry about the lighting. My ring light is yet to come, and I'm using industrial lights right now. So the lighting is horrific. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this review, please do give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you liked it. If you've got any other questions, all the details